Welcome back to another episode of Quick Pals Projects, and you have guessed it, we are back at Decimal Tenths for mapping round 2. Do you want to tell us what you're doing, Nick?
So it's been a while, hasn't it?
We've reunited.
But this time you've come up with a fresh wastegate.
Yep, fresh wastegate.
Yeah. And lots of other modifications.
Yeah, so we have, I have been quite busy on the car actually. So if you watched any of the last episodes, I did Badger 5 tip, rebuilt the actuator to hopefully try and get the most power out of it, and just cleaned it up, and I fixed the clutch as well from when the clutch blew up. So now we can actually figure out what the car actually makes. Fingers crossed, I'm going for 330, but obviously the turbo is still unknown.
Yeah, completely unknown.
You know, I'm happy we even got to 296 before, but we've got to break the 300 mark. Like, without that, it has to break that number.
Hopefully so, mate. Hopefully so.
As a bare minimum. But
the only thing we struggled on was boost, wasn't it?
Yeah, last time.
Hopefully now that you've got this fresh wastegate on, we'll do a run just on wastegate pressure, just to make sure that it is doing what it should do.
Yeah.
If it is, then we'll just go for it.
That's perfect. So I'll slip in a few slides of the dyno runs, of course. I'm gonna get a few angles from the back and the front, but we'll see about that. We'll see what actually happens. I am still tired. We left at 5:30 this morning. It's better than 3:30 last time, but you know, we'll see what happens. So this was a wastegate run, and the wastegate run has put us at 237.
Yeah, very, very typical for a hybrid of this size, to be honest. The wastegate that you've got there, it spikes up to about a bar and then just plateaus out at about 0.85 bar, which is good. We can work with that, no problem at all. So that's looking pretty healthy straight away. I think as a prediction. Would you like a prediction?
Yes, prediction.
301 brake. That's all you want, isn't it? 301?
Long as it passes 300. Long as it passes 300.
301.5 then. No.
So we've set the bars high, innit?
It'll be cool. I mean, we know that your system flows. We know that the fueling is good. It's just a case of let's get this boost control under control, and then we'll see where we wind up. Wicked. So you're going to do a few more runs now, Nick? Yeah,
Are you actually going to do your magic now?
Yeah, so what we've got in now, we've got a 5-map boost profile file on the car, and I use that basically to, if this is a turbo that I haven't tuned before, then I'll use them 5 maps and I'll set the duty cycle at fixed values. So like say map 1 will be 30%, map 2 will be 40%, map 3 50%, and I'll just switch the maps, do pulls, and see where the duty cycle gets to in terms of boost and torque. And then once we know that, it means we can do that quicker. And once we know where we are, we can then fine tune the actual boost control to make it look like what we want it to. And then we're there. Make sure the timing's right, fueling's right, and send it. Full send.
Yeah, so what's happened to the S3, I can't even make this up. So the downpipe bolts have actually worked themselves loose on the dyno whilst we were doing the runs, and the Lambda's basically going crazy at the moment and doesn't know what to read, so we're struggling to reach the power levels that we want. But Nick is currently trying to put 2 new studs in and 2 new bolts because somehow the bolts have ended up on the floor.
nice that we'll find them on the dyno underneath though, isn't it? So, oh, where have they went? They're just on the chassis.
And then literally look underneath the car and there's a nut sitting there and a stud with a nut on it. So let's just see what happens. Alright, so we've got a bittersweet moment with the S3. So we didn't break the 300 mark today, even though the prediction was 301. But we actually gained 20 torque.
Yeah, 24 pounds of torque.
So we gained that, but the horsepower has gone down to 290 now. So we've lost 6 horsepower, but gone up in torque. So I think it comes down to the inefficiency of the intercooler, really. The intake temps are just spiking, and although it's producing a lot more boost now, it just can't cool the air down enough to try to convert that into horsepower. Don't worry, I can edit that.
No, it's good. I'm an editing warrior too. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, so basically it just can't convert that air into horsepower basically. So that's kind of where we've got to. Now the curve does actually look better, and again I'll put that on the screen so you guys can see what it looks like. So I should get a bit more drivability out of the car. But again, Nick, thank you very much.
Oh, it's cool, mate. It's cool.
For the service. And guys, thank you very much for watching another episode of Brit Powers Projects. Now you know what to do. Please like, comment, subscribe. Do the same for Nick's channel as well, Decimal Tenths. Yeah. I'll put that in the description below.
We'll make a video eventually, honestly.
Yeah. And I will catch you guys next time.